working together is not an option.
Yeah, when working together is not an option, you know, and I've seen that. I had a good friend pass away years ago, and you know, one of the greatest things that he's always longed for is him and his wife working together. But it will always end up with a control or some fight or some petty dispute, hiding money, can't, you know, throwing each other face what is what, and they just could not get it together. And in turn, that killed him. But it also just made everything they did dysfunctional. It made them like fools in front of people. And I know that wasn't their goal, but that's what it was. And so a lot of times, you know, you have to know that working together is always a priority. You know, the enemy comes in through separation. If he can speak to Eve, he spoke to Eve, and then she spoke to Adam. But I believe if they were both on the same page, I think it wouldn't have went down like that. Because sometimes my wife don't see it, sometimes I don't see it, but when we both hearing it, I can say, hey, this is what it is. And she can say, but if she over somewhere else doing her thing, making her own decision, not based on us or our relationship or vice versa, then the enemy can come in. And so working together has to be an option. And when you feel like you can't work with somebody, or your spouse rather, because of money issue, because you can't trust them, these are issues you got to deal with, because it's your responsibility to be together, to share, to be equals, not 50-50, equals in the relationship. Whether it's a business, whether it's ministry, I see people all the time degrade their wife or their spouse because of pride, ego. I don't care if you built it before them. There's some things that I have had prior to my wife, but when she became my wife, we have it together. And everyone that did not respect that, I cut them off. And that's another thing, you know, you need to cut people off that bring division in your marriage. You know, I'm not talking about people with wise counsel saying, you know, one thing we don't do is people call us all the time about their marriage. We don't sit down and say, oh, he did all that? He's a bum. No, we say, y'all both come together. We want to speak because you're one. Any person that basically...
We don't want to be biased to...
Yeah. And when a person does that, they don't mean no good for you. I've seen that tried to happen. I don't care if it's my mama, my cousin, my auntie, grandma. As soon as a person tries to speak division, I mean, and I'm one of the people that as soon as you talk about my wife, I'm going to put you in your place, because it's not your place to talk about my wife. I don't care what you don't like. I don't care what you think. That's not your place in a negative way to try to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I should see my wife perfect. I don't care what she did or what I do. I'm not saying that we can't make mistakes, but a lot of times you can't work together because you got too many people working you apart and calling it love and wisdom, and really it's deception and demonic, and they're trying to rip your marriage apart. And a lot of times it starts with mothers and fathers and family members, because they don't see it, they don't get it, they don't understand it. They sometimes think you can do better, but they're doing worse than you. They have not mastered their own relationship. So they'll try their best to say their little comments, have powwows, and then...
Well, I think most people don't understand the dynamic of your relationship. So you should definitely not have those people talking to you. And if there is, you know, a conversation, again, it should be, you know, one with the three parties there, you, your husband, and whoever's doing the counseling, or, you know what I'm saying? It should never be a division where even though I may be hurt, I may need counseling, I may seek want counseling or whatever, it should never be to the point where I'm excluding or saying, well, I'm not going to have I'm going to have counseling without my husband, because then it leaves it open to just confusion.
And not just counsel, conversations, because sometimes you have not signed up for a counseling session with somebody, but you could be talking to a parent, a friend, a cousin, or whatever, and they're counseling you through that conversation, putting little things in you. Well, child, I wouldn't do that, and you got to watch people.
Based off of based off of how they would handle a situation, and you're just two different people. So.
And you got to watch. Marry yourself, and after people that you see you want to be like. If you say you don't want a marriage like that, you don't want to be like that person, I don't care if it's your family member. Cut that off. Don't, be loving, be kind, but certain areas they can't move into because you see how they are, and they can't tell you something different than what they demonstrate. And we've seen that in our marriage where people say, well, you brainwashed, Terrence, you brain. No, fool. What are we supposed to be? We're supposed to sit there and tear each other apart, let you tear us apart. I don't care how bad it ever has been. We'll deal with it, we'll work it out. And there's times we had nobody to talk to but God and ourselves. But we refuse to allow people into our situation that is going to cause working together to not be an option. So it's important that working together is an option for your marriage. It's important. It's important, right? That and just be careful. Like this is an important thing for me because people will be subtle. They're not going to be forked with it. And so you have people that will seduce you into betraying your spouse. You know what I'm saying? By the conversation. They'll take one disagreement you may have and they'll make it into you need to divorce or you need to go home and you don't need to cook or you don't need to have sex anymore. I've heard some of the dumbest things. I mean, people have told me they're married. Their divorce is a fraud because their marriage should never been broken if they would have just eliminated that individual or that person. And sometimes it could be your dumb pastor too. I just want to put that out there because some people pastors is not qualified to even talk to you because they just as dumb as the person that ain't saved.
Wow.
So that's just real talk right there. Sometimes don't make the assumption that because someone can preach in the pulpit, they qualify for the tragedies of your life.
Again, it goes back to that. It goes back to that false perception. You know what I'm saying? To the point where you see good, but really behind closed doors. And there's a post on Facebook or whatever, and you got this wife and husband, and they're standing together and smiling, but behind the back, the husband is like twisting her. The husband is like twisting her arm, like you know what I'm saying, like almost forcing her to smile. So we have to be aware of that. Sensitive to who's talking to you. Pray to God until you find someone who's really sincere to kind of guide you. Then give it to God. Give it to Jesus. Okay.
Next question.
So,
next thing.
When date night is fight night.
When date night is fight night. Yeah.
How many of y'all have that problem?
Yeah.
We've had that. Really?
I mean, like...
Well, yeah, when you preparing to go on a date, you all souped up and then that one word just be like, what? I don't need more no more.
But really what I'm talking about is like, you're out on a date, you're having fun, and then that deep conversation starts to happen. Something that you didn't really want to deal with that night, and then suddenly it turns into a disagreement and it ruins the date night because your communication is not right. I mean, and that goes into knowing the style that your spouse communicates with. You have to know that style. So a lot of times people don't even know. I mean, they know what color they like and what perfume or cologne, but they don't know how does your spouse communicate. Whether it's confrontation, whether it's whatever. What you think, man?
I'm sorry, I was what was your question?
Hey, you still doing the video?
I mean, what do you have to say about that? Baseball.
About when, it's just that. I mean, we've had those points in times where, again, you souped up because you're going out on a date and then you're not prepared for this deep conversation or, and it turns into something of discomfort or awkwardness. And being that you haven't developed that communication style where you're understanding and you're open to, how your spouse is or knowing who your spouse is or how they think or operate or feel, then it can be a total disaster. I think that's something that we've grown to understand. You know what I mean? Like, not taking everything so personal and being so sensitive. And even in that, knowing, all right, if you're saying, well, this is not a conversation that you want right now, how to say that gracefully. You know,
not cold and mean.
Right, not getting an attitude, not.
But also putting
up.
things in perspective. You know, like tonight is fun. So that means sometimes you gotta just turn the phone off. You gotta tell people. I mean, I'm one of them people. Like,
I think that's important to me. Like, if we're out on a date, then we are out on a date.
Not me and everybody else.
Not me and Facebook.
Yeah.
Not me and you know, he's glued to his phone.
Cause I can't stand. I mean, I personally can't stand that. When I'm out with my wife or whatever, and because people ain't got no social love life, they like, what you doing? Nothing. Stop calling me, yo. You know, so I get rude, like, yo, don't call me. I mean, I'll glide everybody, like, yo, don't call me. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Stop asking me play by play. Go get your own man or your own woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, because sometimes you got people, because they don't have nothing going on, they want to consume your time, and then it just ruins everything. You know, like you know. So date night is date night. Date night is not fight night. It's not the time. It's the time to relax, enjoy. Vacation is time to vacate. You know what I'm saying? And so those you can have deep conversations, but gracefully have them. Be cautious that you're not Mayweather in the second round. Put your boo. You know what I'm saying? Like, about to knock her right out because I've been wanting to say this, and now I got her in the restaurant to say it, and you're making a scene, or, you know.
Well, I think it's understanding communication. That's what it all boils down to. God bless you. That's what it all boils down to. Like I said, understanding communication, because even though you may want to have a conversation, you know, it's holding each other accountable. If I say, well, you know, we could wait until we get home to talk about this because we are in a cold place, and if it's something that you don't want to be emotional in front of people,